Welcome to Akhand Vidyashram, the first institute of impeccable wisdom. Let's discuss about Niyams, the foundation disciplines of life, and the second stage of Akhand Yoga. I've been speaking about Akhand Yoga, the soul rising to Sahasrara Chakra from Mooladhara. And this is spiritual science of the mind, consciousness, awareness, and rising of consciousness to the universal consciousness. Now, my genuine statement is if you want an impeccable wisdom, you need a perfect wisdom. Perfect wisdom, you need perfect knowledge. Perfect knowledge, we need perfect theory. And perfect theory, we need a perfect experience within the body. The subjective, objective qualification of the evaluation of our experience can let us know the entire universe, otherwise, not at all possible. Now, from that concept, since we are talking about Akhand Yoga, we are talking about Patanjali Yoga's the Ashtanga Yoga first. Maharishi Yogi was the greatest exponent, and this book was written 3000 years ago. And I know the first statement says, now Yoga Anushasan, the discipline starts. And the second one is Chit. Yogas is a Chitta Vritti Niro. Stop the fluctuation mind, you are a yogi. And I have already convinced that stopping the fluctuation mind alone is not yogi. Experiencing the next stage, which I call it, is the inner consciousness, which is the own indwelling soul. And once that is realized, that Jivatma and Antaratma together, only then you come to understand the mind and consciousness, the awareness to further. And then comes to only then particular stage which is maintained very well is yoga. Otherwise, it is a different state which create fluctuations of the mind, and that is responsible for psychosomatic disorders. Now, the fifth, there are 5 different kinds of statements, are fluctuations, are kleshas, are the problems, which we'll discuss as we move in this particular concept. Now, there are 4 stages of yogasana. I have already told samadhi, sadhana, vibhuti, and kaivalya are the 4 stages of yogasana which Patanjali Yoga Sutra talks about it. And perfect, and the whole objective is, in my opinion, perfect physical health without diseases, perfect emotional health, stability, perfect mental, social, religious health, perfect education and wisdom, adequate abundance of prosperity to use for your own self, health, wealth, wisdom, and happiness, and also the world as such. Without money, you are dead and gone. Do your karma yoga to the best ability and earn more than enough money to use it efficiently for the good of everybody. And then learning to share the money, name, fame, everything for the world's goodness is more important. Don't hold on. Become an instrument of divine consciousness as a walking, talking encyclopedia of the world. Only then you are becoming a perfect human being. At the same time, please take care of every mineral, plant, animal, human beings, and everybody, because you become a Lokpalan, the guardian, custodian. Only then you become a perfect human being. Otherwise, you are not a perfect human being. To reach that level, Akhand Yoga makes it very clear. Stop the fluctuation mind. Let Chetna, awareness, indwelling soul come and make optimum use and be in the entire universe yourself, your Antaratma and entire universe. Once you understand that, only you become Akhand Yogi complete, otherwise not at all possible. Then you have the 10 stages: Yama, Niyama, Yogasana, Pranayam, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyan, Samadhi. These are 8 of Ashtanga Yoga. Chakra Yoga is a Kundalini Yoga. Antaratma is internalization of consciousness within the human body to realize yourself completely and also realize the universal consciousness, also realize the self of solar system, spiral galaxy, and the entire universe. All the wisdom is designed with the same concept, and that is possible only when you are perfect. You can understand perfection, otherwise not at all possible. Then come to the question of yama. As I told you, the 5 virtues which I have spoken about at the first stage of that, once you understand these 5 states completely, only then you can move on to the next stage of disciplining yourself to the world. And first thing is Satya is the truth, Ahimsa is non-violence, Aste is non-theft, and Brahmacharya is a great character, Apigraha is non-acquisitive. Have only what is required. What is not required, you don't have to accumulate, because you come with nothing, you go with nothing. Only thing which is required is to take care of your perfect physical health, wealth, wisdom, everything for yourself and the entire world. This is the greatest opportunity, is to be born as a human being, because human beings are only persons who are capable of understanding the entire universe. No other physical body can explain. This exactly is the central dharma, Sanatana Dharma. We are the perfect living human beings, and I call every human being as a divine consciousness completely. There is no difference. The one who listens to the indwelling soul becomes a perfect, who does not listen to that becomes imperfect. Then comes to go first statement which I play is the most important, is Astoma Satyam. Please lead me from untruth to truth. That should be the first step of realizing the virtues we have to. There has to be truth, truth and truth alone. Anything other than that is not acceptable. Only a person who never tells a lie, come what may be, only the one which is experienced with the wisdom and impeccable wisdom, only he should talk, nothing other than that he should talk. He should not bring his mind into any fluctuation. He should only go by something which has given him Satchit Anand. And that way, Satya Me Vichayate, only the person who talks of only truth, nothing other than truth, will always win. Everybody else will fall on the way. And Satyam Shivam, only the person who is purely truthful will become beautiful, otherwise not at all possible. This is part Lord Shiva. Every human being is a Lord Shiva only. Plus Lord Brahma, Lord Vishnu, all the beings are within us itself. Then come to the question of the present topic of the concentration, contemplation and moving on is niyams. That is foundation disciplines. First was virtues are vows to be made. Those are the principles you have to follow, come what may, which I spoke about it. The second stage is how the discipline is developed to move on. That is Patanjali is talking about as the second stage, only as niyam and not anything other than that. That discipline has to be brought in. Now come to the question, second greatest prayer after Aso Ma Satgami, Tamso Ma Jyotirgami. Please lead me from darkness to light. When we are born, we are not aware of anything in the world. We are dark. And that darkness should lead us to go towards light of education, enlightenment and empowerment, not anything which is defective. That's again, don't meet a fluctuating mind which is full of defects, which the world is understanding. You go to the light in which only purity is seen, truth is seen, and everything's perfection is seen. That is the discipline by and large. And this particular picture I've seen sunflower with the light or the sun, and I know all the great souls of the world, for them it is Lord Surya who is the teacher. For me, Lord Surya is the teacher, because everything which I do from a childhood till today is only what Surya is telling me. Surya gets up in time, goes around, gives, learns only to give, doesn't take anything. He does everything, the knowledge the way it is required. The greatest teacher of the world is Surya, Aditya, sun, and anyone who understands sun completely will become a perfect human being, because Antaratma is a helium which comes from the sun. So all the qualities of sun there are within Aditi. She is the mother and the daughter of Aditya itself. And once you are in tune with Aditi, you are in tune with Surya, you are in tune with the entire universe, and you become a perfect, and that's the light. That is Tamso Ma Jyotirgarmi. That's what we'll talk about it as we move on to stage clarity, how and why we should go about truth and light step by step. Then the second stage, a niyama, is made of 5 parts again. Sauch is a purity, it means pure and cleanness. Human body is an abode of indwelling soul. As I told you, you call Kundalini, you call Antaratma, you call it Aditi. This body has to be pure like a temple. There is no other thing. There should be internal purification as well as external purification. Second thing is santosh or samtosh. That means content, whatever is there, be happy with it. Don't aspire for something which you do not have. Don't take something from others. That is what asteya is all about. No plagiarism, nothing at all. What is given to you, what is required, do it, work and achieve it and be happy with it. A content mind can only be an enlightened soul, otherwise not at all possible. Tapasya is austerity, the destruction of defects of the human body can be done with heat. Again, I have made it very clear, the Panchbhutas, Bhumi, Jal or Apa, Agni, Vayu, Akash. It's the Agni which is the center one. More it goes, it becomes Vayu and Akash. That is what ascension is. When Agni comes down, that's why you have Apa or Apana or Jal or water, and then solid element which is ice. The water shows it. So tapasya should be done to make the temperature optimum so that you are in a fluid state and understand A to Z completely. That should be the objective of tapasya. And tapa means heat, and tapasya is heat, and that is austerity. That is the third aspect of niyam itself. Then swadhe, a self-study. It means the study of the self leads to the knowledge of everything. Unless until you listen to your body, every cell within your body, only then you will have the knowledge. Otherwise, you will not have the knowledge of the universal consciousness. That is the fourth line. Fifth, Ishra Pranidhana, self-realization of the God through self-realization Vishinta. Once you establish that Ishvara also with you along with Aditi, Ishvara means a universal consciousness, Paramatma, a higher self. Once yourself, Jivatma, Antaratma and Paramatma are Adi Prashakti, all are realized, only then the niyams are established. You have to establish that through belief and then appear to achieve them one by one. Once you do that, only then you go to the next stage of higher levels of Yogasana or Akhand Yoga. Now let's talk about the Socha, the purity, step by step, one by one. And I mean is, Socha means pure, clean and purity. Your physical body has to be clean. It is made of two types of cleanness. Physical cleanness, from the physical purity, the physical body becomes a better channel of divine energy, power, and there should not be any block in the skin or body muscles at all. Your height, weight, everything should be within the required thing, and you should not have any block, any disease, any pain in the part of the body, and your kundalini will make you aware where it is. Use that to understand the cause, then correct it with the food alone, with exercise and purity of mind, and everything can be clean. As you grow older, instead of falling sick, you'll become better and better because your knowledge has improved. You can use it better. As a result, I'm 70 plus, but I do feel I'm almost a 30, 40 years younger now than I was earlier, because it's the knowledge which has given me to take care of my home's cleanliness, my cleanliness, my atmosphere cleanliness, everything has made a real difference, and that is what it is all about. Swachh Bharat. That. Then you take care of teeth, tongue, mouth, nostril, face, everything, eyes, throat. There are different processes to make sure different parts of the body have to be made active and clean and done with it. When they are active, no infection will come there, no disease will come, no problem will come. You will never fall sick if you take care of the cleanliness very clearly. So this is niyam you have to, discipline you have to develop, because this is not something is going to happen by yourself. Truth happen because you are doing that. Non-violence can happen. But comes to the question of niyams, these are the active things you have to do. That is my point. Then comes the internal cleaning, is all movement, micturition, everything has to be done. That all the exercises of yogasana like Antaruni, Vastra, this, that, and different kinds of problems. Once you understand that, and then eat the food according to Annapurna Upasana or fasting, whatever is required, to make sure you only eat what is required and eat only quantity is required, nothing more, nothing less, and you should be pure in everything. So that way the Socha, the purity of the inside food, everything, home, everything like a temple. temple has to be clean. There should not be even single dirt from anywhere in the world. Your home should be sparkling clean. Your body should be sparkling clean. Your inner will be sparkling clean. And that is the first niyam you have to develop, whether you like it or don't like it. You cannot do even single thing which is impure in nature. And I leave it at that. Then there comes the question of this particular picture. I'm showing the core of external, internal purification, both is required. Like getting up in the early morning, doing exercise, everything, and then taking bath and then doing divine prayers should be the exercise every day. So in this you can see in the water, the child is like a Brahman taking bath, and after that doing water to the sun as well as thing, and make sure there's so much of knowledge in this particular concept of external and internal purification. And then your home, professional space, everything should be clean, clean and clean. That's it. Now Santosh, I told you, is the benefit of Labh is Santosh Anuta Sukh Labh. That means person who is completely content, he or she, when she works for and deserves, and once you are satisfied with what that, the labh is that you become Sukh. Same thing with education. Vidya dadati vinyam vinyat yati patratam patratam cha dhanam dharam sukham. For sukh you need education. Same for sukh you need santosh. And this is the mind which is educated with Akhand Vidya would have satisfied, because you only get what you work for. This is again Karma Yoga. And you, whatever you get through your own karma yoga is, don't expect anything from anybody. Do your work and done with it. Once that is done, I think you are moving on to the higher and higher level, much more better in a step by step, because everything you have to earn at your own. Nothing is given to you. You got to work. You got to deserve it. You cannot take things to reservation and do something which is given to you when you don't deserve it. Anyone who takes something which is not earned in corruption wise, this wise, that wise, that person is actually losing himself completely. I'm against corruption, I'm against reservation, I'm against anything which is given to me which I have not worked for. But what I have worked for, I would get rewarded automatically, provided I'm perfect one. Nobody can stop me getting what I required, because I'm a karma yogi, I'm a gyan yogi, I'm a vigyan yogi, I'm a prakyan yogi. I believe in bhakti, I do devotion, everything perfection. So I get because I earn. I don't have to take anything from anybody. This is what santosh is required. And that's it, essential for every spiritual soul. You can cheat others, but you can never cheat your antaratma, which is witnessing everything. Your perfection with that is recognized, and your soul and Parmatma will give you all that's required, because nobody can deprive you. That's the victory of always Satya, non-violence and goodness survives. So this is a third one. You become like Ganesha, to again full of wisdom, full of knowledge, full of something. And that is Santosh, you can see in that. Then comes to tapa. As I told you in the beginning, I am telling again a concept. Kaindriya Siddhar Asuddhi Kshatir Tapa. That means the destruction of impurity of the physical body through spiritual heat leads to perfection of senses, sense organs, emotions, mind, intelligence, intuition. If you want to be a perfect, you should have the adequate energy. Low energy will give you problems. High energy also will too much of problem. The balance is required. And that is what tapasya is, that is what heat development is. And now this particular picture from Sagar Manthan, churning of ocean. This whole black vapors coming up, hala hala, which was poison like iodine. How iodine is this? How it kills, and how iodine is used in the human body to convert into thyroid gland, and thyroid hormone is only for thermogenic heat production, not other. So any tapasya which is in the throat chakra, Vishuddhi chakra, with iodine, with this to thyroid, and that is tapasya all about, is only to maintain the body temperature adequate, and that is what tapasya is. That's why the word is used everywhere. And once this is understood, this particular picture, that story of Sagar Manthan or Samundar Manthan, is not a fiction. It's a science much better than what science has ever designed. And I've already spoken about it in my work, that hala hala is not a poison, it is iodine which can kill. But same iodine is essential to be taken in small quantities for thyroid to produce heat. It is not calorigenic, it is not BRI, and it is only thermo. I think once that is understood, then hypothyroidism or hyperthyroidism problems and everything is very, very clear. That kind of knowledge which we need to do as we move on. Then come to Swade is self-study of the self. And the lab is only then you get all what you want. That means the study of the self is starting from atom, elements, molecules, compounds, cells, tissues, organ, 10 organ system, and the perfect human. Entire system of yourself you got to study within yourself first. Once you understand the mineral kingdom within yourself, you understand plant kingdom within yourself, you understand animal kingdom within yourself, only then you'll understand human system first. Once this is a basic thing, once you understand this, only then you'll be able to see the external world of the Bhumi, Akash, solar system, spiral galaxy, and the universe. Only after that, without a perfect human being is not possible. And in this particular self-study, that you are actually, Brahma is within you, Vishnu is within you, Shiv within you. Once you understand you are like a Dattatreya, only then you become a perfect human being. And when I think of this, I remember it was Anusuya, wife of Rishi Atri, who united Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh into one as the Dattatreya and showed that this is the pure consciousness, and that is it. And as far as Maharishi Atri is concerned, he is the beautiful person, great Rishi, who converted Rig Veda into Aitri Upanishad to tell what Purusha, cosmic consciousness, are Lokpalan, are the custodian guardians, and the Lokpalan custodian guardian by and large is the Tattriya, which Anasuya does that into that. I think once you understand that about scriptures, only then you know you are a perfect Shiva, Brahma, Vishnu, all the three within you. Once you experience that within you, you will understand Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, otherwise not at all possible. They are not separate. They are one, and that's what in Divyank, Brahma is shown as a 22 by 21. 10 stages of development is Vishnu, and 0.34419 is Shiva. When these three put together, only you understand the perfection, otherwise not possible. And I know, having experienced Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiv within me, and understanding divine mathematics of Divyank within me, and converting to symbolic representation, I've been able to understand the beauty of these pictures, which were done by ancients from the very beginning till today. That greatest science, much better than any other science seen in the world. Divine mathematics is shown in Indian pictures by and large. I have shown that again and again, and that is a study of self, and the external world is required for you to become a perfect person as you move on the higher consciousness from spiritual science, from zero level to education to enlightenment to empowerment. Once that happens, only then you become a perfect human being. Then come to the culture, Tantra Vidya. Once you have all the 5 yamas and 5 niyams known very well, these 10 parts, only then you understand Tantra Vidya completely. That's inner consciousness, which is the humans. You know the perfect anatomy, perfect physiology, perfect biochemistry, and perfect psychology only once yam and niyams are very clear within you. 5 virtues are your living consciousness. 5 disciplines, you are doing very well. Once you do this 10, only then journey of spiritual life move, otherwise it is not at all possible. Without the knowledge of yam and niyams of 5 plus 5, 10 components, you can't move on to exercise yourself completely, and that is what is written in Tantra Vidya, which I am talking about. But when you come to the next stage, this, which is very important in the whole concept, is Ishra Pranidhana. Once you understand these concepts, very clear study, then you got to surrender yourself to divine consciousness, because whatever we are today, only because of God, not by nature. and I don't mean the guard nature separately. They are the concept divine design, and that is Samadhi, Siddha, Ishvara, Pranidhana, because once you are completely, mind is controlled, you is not fluctuating at all, you are established in that equanimity of the mind. Only then you realize that you are actually divine consciousness, come for the higher consciousness, and you start devoting yourself to the nature by and large. Once that happens, only then further evolution will rise, or you will realize the thing much better as you move on. So self-surrender to Ishvara, the living God, leads to eternal blissful state of the mind, and that is what equanimity of mind, equilibrium of the mind. Samadhi is not a dead matter. It is even state of the mind. Mind is very powerful but not fluctuating. It is required to understand things very clearly. So without the strong foundation, yamas and niyam, the temple of God cannot be created within the perfect human body. Once that is created, that is, in this particular picture I have shown my EEG taken in 2018. I can produce 8 hertz frequency throughout the brain, all the 64 arts, with 8 hertz, with eyes open, eyes, senses, everything. Once a person is doing, only your living consciousness of divinity within you. Till such time you have not even become a perfect human being, and that is what I mean it. Then, as I told you, Ishwar Pranadhani will give you a bhakti yoga, that we are here only divine. And here my choice is Mata Vaishno Devi, who is a descendant of goddess Durga. And goddess with an 18 arms shows the periodic table very clearly. And Mata Vaishno Devi is Saraswati, Mahalakshmi, and Mahakali's female forms, which are representation of Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, all the three. Once that is understood, only then you come to Devyank level, only then you can reach much higher level. Only in the light of Devyank I can create a perfect divine mathematics, perfect physics, perfect chemistry, perfect medical sciences to the world. That is the knowledge required for everybody, which is without any deficiency, any difficulty at all. Once you have that, only then you move on to higher level, step by step, much better. Then comes to the question, as I told you in the beginning, I'm coming again. When you are born with that particular consciousness, then you got to become very good karma yogi, and you got to be like Surya. You got to have your fine six content, everything. You should have Antaratma within you, you have Paramatma, all the concept very filled into that, and that's why you can see the picture which on top is the representation of Divyank alone. That's it. Then it should bring you back to the pure consciousness. In this particular which I'm not going to talk, I think enough for the time being. We have discussed about 2 steps of Akhand Yoga. We will talk the third step in the next one. So thank you very